So you do have a plan. Yeah, Mr. White.
Okay, so let's talk about Breaking Bad, the greatest TV show ever made. Yeah, I said it, and I'm not here to argue.
Pretty decent, actually.
But, I also kind of blame it for messing with my head when I was younger. I'll explain.
I am the danger.
When I was 16, I watched Breaking Bad for the first time. And when I say watched, I mean I binge-watched it in like 2 weeks. And let me tell you, I was obsessed. Walter White, absolute legend. Jesse Pinkman broke my heart, but in the best way. Every scene had me hooked. I didn't just love the show, I wanted to live in it. Back then, I was, 16, insecure, a bit lost, trying to figure myself out. And here comes this show where this guy, Walter White, goes from being this sad pushover chemistry teacher to this, badass drug lord. And I thought, damn, that's inspiring. Look at him, he's fearless. He's in control, he's the danger. And somewhere in my teenage brain, I thought maybe I should try to be like that. Yeah, spoiler alert, terrible idea.
Skyler, where am I here?
Here's the thing, when you're young, especially if you're unsure of yourself, characters like Walter White are magnetic. You see his transformation, and it's hard not to admire him. He's confident, fearless, powerful, everything I wasn't at 16. But the more I watch the show, and I've seen it 6 times now, so I had to think about this, the more I realized Walter isn't a hero. He's not even a good person. He starts off with this noble goal, right? Providing for his family after he's gone, but then it becomes all about him. His ego, his pride, his obsession with power.
I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it.
And that's when I started to see him differently. Walter White isn't someone to admire, he's a cautionary tale. But it's not just Walter, is it? Think about all these other characters people idolize. Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders, Tony Montana from Scarface. There are so many motivational videos out there with these guys, all saying stuff like, don't fear anything, or be the strongest person in the room. I get it, they're cool, they're confident, they don't take crap from anyone, but here's the thing, they're also disasters.
'Cause I'm already dead.
Take Thomas Shelby, for example, absolute style icon, right? Guy could wear a trash bag and make it look good. But as a person, he's cold, self-destructive, and honestly kind of miserable. Yet people see him as this ideal if I could just be like Tommy Shelby, my life would be perfect. Spoiler, it wouldn't. And don't even get me started on Tony Montana. His entire life is basically a tutorial on what not to do. Here's what's wild. Studies show that people, especially younger audiences, are drawn to anti-heroes because they feel more real. Unlike traditional heroes who are all about doing the right thing, anti-heroes are flawed. They make mistakes, they struggle just like we do, and that makes them relatable.
I have nothing!
But there's a downside. When you're young and you're still figuring out who you are, it's easy to blur the line between admiration and imitation. You start thinking, if this character can be powerful by breaking the rules, maybe I can too.
I watched Jane die.
It's a slippery slope. And it's not just me saying this. A 2019 study from the Journal of Media Psychology found that young viewers are more likely to identify with morally ambiguous characters because they're aspirational and relatable. But the researchers also warned that this identification can lead to internalizing negative traits, like manipulation or a lack of empathy. So yeah, thanks for that, Walter. Look, I still love Breaking Bad. It's my favorite show of all time, and it always will be. But the biggest lesson it taught me isn't to be like Walter White, it's to not be like Walter White. If you're feeling lost or insecure, don't look to these characters for answers. They're not role models, they're warnings. And honestly, the real strength isn't about power or control, it's about facing life head-on, even when it's messy and hard. No hats, no empire, no danger, just you being real. Also, maybe don't start smoking just because Jesse Pinkman makes it look cool. Trust me, I've been there. Bad idea.